symbols of courage, loyalty, and an unshakable spirit. But few embodied these traits more than the great Tadakatsu Honda, a man whose heart never knew the meaning of retreat. On the eve of battle, Tadakatsu Honda's forces stood on the brink of annihilation. His enemies, led by a ruthless general, outnumbered his men 3-1. Whispers of doubt spread through the ranks. But Tadakatsu's resolve was as unyielding as the steel of his armor. The enemy general's forces were formidable, and many believed the battle was lost before it had even begun. But Tadakatsu, a man of few words, stood tall and unwavering. To him, retreat was never an option. One of Tadakatsu's most loyal lieutenants, Hasegawa, approached him, his voice trembling with doubt. "My lord," he said, "the enemy is overwhelming. Perhaps it's best if we withdraw and live to fight another day." Tadakatsu looked him square in the eyes, his response as solid as a mountain. To retreat is to accept defeat before the battle has even begun. A true warrior advances, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Remember this, in battle, never think of retreat. Always advance with the spirit of a lion. The battle began at dawn, and the clash of swords echoed across the land. Tadakatsu led his men, not with words, but with action. His spear flashed like lightning, cutting down enemies with precision. His men, inspired by his fearlessness, followed him into the fray without hesitation. Despite the odds, Tadakatsu's men fought with the spirit of lions, charging forward instead of retreating. And with every enemy that fell, they gained ground, driven by their leader's unbreakable will. As the tide of battle turned, Tadakatsu finally faced the enemy general in single combat. The man was fierce, a seasoned warrior, but Tadakatsu had no fear in his heart. With his spear raised high, he met the general head-on. The enemy swung his sword with all his might, but Tadakatsu's movements were like water, graceful and powerful. Every strike he made was a step closer to victory. With one final, decisive blow, he disarmed his opponent, striking him down. As the general fell, so did the will of the enemy forces. They retreated, their morale shattered. Tadakatsu's men, though battered and bruised, stood triumphant. They had fought not for survival, but for honor. They had fought with the spirit of lions. Tadakatsu had led them to victory, not by retreating, but by advancing with courage. His name would live on in legend, a testament to the power of the samurai spirit. Tadakatsu Honda's lesson is timeless. In the face of fear and doubt, always advance with courage. For a warrior who retreats is no warrior at all. Advance with the spirit of a lion, and victory will follow. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more tales of legendary warriors.